An unknown major national treasure. This is the story of a most remarkable major national treasure that is virtually unheard of even to the people that walk past it every day in the Hertfordshire city of St Albans. St Albans is the legendary birthplace of Freemasonry and named after Alban, who is considered the first British saint and martyr, and after whom Francis Bacon took his title Viscount St Alban. Francis Bacon grew up on the Bacon family estate at Gorhambury, close to the White Hart Inn, which conceals a profound secret relating to Shakespeare. Located at the edge of the Bacon family estate at Gorhambury, a couple of miles east, is the subject of our story. The White Hart Inn in St Albans is situated on Holywell Hill, directly opposite St Albans Cathedral. Parts of the inn date back to the 15th or 16th century, and much of its architecture has been preserved. Part of the ground floor is now occupied by a pottery shop called Pots of Art. In 1985, during renovations being undertaken at the White Hart Inn by Benskins the Brewers, who owned the building, a mural of 20 feet by 10 feet was discovered over one wall. It is known as the Venus and Adonis mural and depicts the death of Adonis killed by a boar. The mural dates to around 1600 or before, about the time or shortly after the publication of Shakespeare's best-selling poem Venus and Adonis. The renowned medieval archaeologist Dr. Clive Rouse, together with experts from the Warburg Institute at London University, confirmed that the mural depicted the death of Adonis, the theme of the Shakespeare narrative poem Venus and Adonis, first published in 1593. This was the first work to carry the pseudonym William Shakespeare, below the dedication to Henry Wriothesley, the 3rd Earl of Southampton. At the top of the page stands a Baconian Rosicrucian AA headpiece. Back in 1985, Francis Carr from the Shakespeare Authorship Information Centre immediately realised the importance of such a find, saying, "Experts from the Warburg Institute have concluded that the subject is definitely the death scene from Venus and Adonis. The giant painting may cover all 3 walls of this room. It must have been commissioned for a special purpose, probably for meetings of a Rosicrucian lodge." Dr. Clive Rouse, a leading art expert and historian and a specialist in panel paintings, says that this large painting is a major national treasure. It is priceless. I cannot overestimate the importance of this startling find. There is no Elizabethan wall painting of better artistic quality outside the great houses like Hampton Court. In 1986, it was once more enclosed, and only later was it put on public view when a bedroom company leasing from the brewery decided to exhibit it behind glass panels. In his article, Venus and Adonis at the White Hart Inn, St Albans, Francis Carr states, "This important national treasure is now for the first time on view to the public. Here is the only contemporary painting in the world of a Shakespeare work. The message of this mural is unmistakable. The painting dates from a few years after the publication of Venus and Adonis in 1593. With its clear Rosicrucian symbolism, it constitutes yet another indication that the author of the Shakespeare plays was Francis Bacon, who lived only 2 miles away at Gorhambury." With supporting images, Carr illuminates and explains some of the prominent features and themes of the mural. Already visible are 6 details which prove that Venus and Adonis and all the other works in the Shakespeare First Folio are the creation of Francis Bacon. Number 1. Adonis is a key figure in Rosicrucian doctrine, as he represents the sun, while the boar represents winter. Bacon was the leader of the Rosicrucian movement in England at this time. Number 2. Next to Adonis is the boar. This figure bears a distinct resemblance to the boar depicted in Bacon's crest. Number 3. Above the boar, a large house can be seen. This could represent a symbolic Masonic house and temple, as the two towers and the arch appear in Masonic books of the 17th century. The building contains some features of Bacon's house at Gorhambury, only 2 miles away. At that time, the White Hart Inn was on the border of Bacon's estate. Number 4. The hill just to the right of the house could be a representation of Bacon's Mount, a mound just a mile away in Pray Wood, which Bacon used for astronomical observation. Number 5. The rose, which is the ancient legend grew from the dead Adonis, became the reborn man, with a new personality or name. A red rose can be seen in the mouth of one of the horses in this mural. Number 6. In the foreground of this painting can be seen the stump of a tree, with a clearly visible opening at the base. In Act 1, Scene 2 of The Tempest, Prospero tells Ariel that his mother Sycorax did confine thee into a cloven pine. It was mine art that made gape the pine and let thee out. We have here in one symbol and one sentence the whole canon of the Shakespeare plays and poems. You might think that there would have been a flurry of excitement in the press and the worldwide media. After all, Shakespeare was at the heart of the discovery, and anything, no matter how trivial, always receives attention, let alone a startling, priceless, major national treasure depicting Shakespeare's first poem. But no, you'd be wrong. Only 2 small mentions appear in the local press, the Hert's Advertiser, by reporter John Manning. Major treasure found in hotel, 1st of November 1985, and Freemasons linked to ancient mural, 20th of December 1985. The articles do throw up a few interesting points regarding the unique mural and its examination. Restoration work began in early August 1985 and went on for some weeks until the German conservator Christoph Oldenburg had to leave the city to attend to other commissions. Bensky and the Brewers expected Oldenburg to return in spring 1986 with his team of experts to continue his work. This didn't appear to happen. The article's picture features Fiona Allardyce, a conservator at work on the mural. Dr. Clive Rouse confirmed the work had been expensive and Oldenburg had experienced difficulties with it. The article mentions many academics argue that Shakespeare collaborated with Francis Bacon on The Taming of the Shrew, which was written between 1593 and 1594. If that is true, he could have been a regular visitor to St Albans at about the time the mural was being painted. Even the suggestion that Shakespeare could have been a regular visitor to St Albans didn't seem to tempt the mainstream media into action. In the second Hert's Advertiser, the links to Freemasonry and the mural room being a Rosicrucian lodge is made. The symbolism in the mural strongly suggests it was commissioned for its meetings, and also the boar in the mural resembles the boar depicted in Bacon's crest, and the house in the mural to Gorhambury. The red rose seen in the mouth of the horse is the key central symbol of his Rosicrucian brotherhood. The word Rosicrucian is derived from Rose Cross, and Christian Rosenkreuz in the third Rosicrucian document, The Chemical Wedding, adorns a red cross and roses as symbols of the Rosicrucian brotherhood. The secret order is often referred to as the Brotherhood of the Rosy Cross, and the title pages of its publications depict the symbol of the rose. The phrase sub rosa, which means to communicate in secret, is a key central tenet of the Rosicrucian Brotherhood. A secret society which still exists today has been linked with the ancient mural. So, what happened to this priceless artefact, this major national treasure, this unique contemporary painting of a Shakespeare work? In 40 years from its first discovery until now, More or less nothing. No extensive conservation or restoration and no media attention. Isn't this strange? What can account for it? It's hard to understand any of this unless we consider that it is one more piece of strong physical evidence of Bacon's connection to Shakespeare, along with Bacon's manuscript with Shakespeare and Bacon written all over it, Bacon's Northumberland manuscript, Bacon's writer's notebook with hundreds of Bacon-Shakespeare parallels, Bacon's Promise, and now a Shakespeare wall mural in a local pub in Bacon's hometown. Today, the Venus and Adonis mural can be viewed behind the glass cases in Pots of Art pottery shop, Holywell Hill, St Albans, where it still remains a rather invisible and unknown major national treasure.